Twój przewodnik po świecie języka angielskiego. Dzień dobry, witam serdecznie, tu Monika Podbielska. Zbliża się Boże Narodzenie, w związku z tym dzisiaj też opowiemy sobie właśnie o zwyczajach bożonarodzeniowych, a konkretnie o ich pochodzeniu. Z mojej strony internetowej www.monikapodbielska.com możecie ściągnąć pełny tekst z zaznaczonym słownictwem i gramatyką i w ten sposób możecie najpierw zapoznać się ze słowami i potem spróbować wysłuchać tekstu. Najpierw sprawdzić zastosowane formy gramatyczne, żeby w tak przygotowanym móc wysłuchać sobie właśnie w prostym, wolnym języku angielskim całej opowieści. Również dla ułatwienia tekst załączony będzie jako notatka do tego podcastu. Zapraszam do słuchania. Christmas. Origins of its traditions. Christmas commemorates the birth of Jesus Christ. It is observed every year on December the 25th by most Christians all over the world. The name Christmas stems from the words Christus Masse, which is the medieval way of saying the Mass of Christ. These ceremonies got considered by the Christian Church in the 5th century. But the day of December the 25th was already being celebrated because it was the Roman holiday of Saturnalia, and this new celebration started in order to give new meaning to the pagan holiday. The Roman holiday was named after the birth of the sun, and this pagan anniversary was used as the date of Christmas, as no precise knowledge of the day of Christ's birth was available. Also, the Roman feast of Saturnalia provided many cheerful customs for Christmas, like gift-giving, feasting, and burning of candles. And what about the Christmas tree? Long before Christianity, European pagan tribes used evergreen trees and boughs during their ceremonies and festivals. Later, fir tree was used in particular to symbolize the evergreen age of the Christ child. The Saxons made use of ivy and holly, and the Celtic tradition was to bring mistletoe from the forests as means of decoration. This plant was hung up all doors, and all pretty girls who walked under would often get kissed. This was such an old custom that no one is really sure how and when it began. The Britons, though, thought that mistletoe had powers to protect them from evil. That is why they were wearing a sprig as a charm, or hang it in a doorway for good luck in the coming year. In Germany, the Christmas tree has been a tradition since the Middle Ages. According to an ancient legend, a saint called Saint Boniface, while traveling one December through a forest, met a group of people who were having some kind of pagan religious ceremony. Saint Boniface was horrified that a small boy was going to be offered as a human sacrifice to one of their pagan gods. The boy was just about to be put to fire when Saint Boniface rushed and snatched the little boy away. Then, picking up an axe, he chopped down a huge oak tree. As it fell to the ground, a tiny young fir appeared out of the ground in the space where the mighty oak had stood. And then Saint Boniface said, "From now on, this little tree will be a holy symbol. It is the sign of everlasting life, because its leaves are still green when everything else seemed dead around it. Moreover, it will always point upwards to heaven. From this day, this little tree shall be called the Christmas tree." However, it is said that fir had no particular meaning until the time of the leader of the Protestant Reformation, Martin Luther. According to this legend, Luther was returning home through a forest. He felt that stars twinkling above him were almost a part of the trees themselves. It must have been a night like this, he thought, when the angels of the Lord appeared to the shepherds on the Bethlehem hillside. Willing to share the beauty of this scene with his family, he cut down a small fir tree, set it up in his home, and fastened candles to its branches. Another symbol of Christmas in our culture is Saint Nicholas, widely known as Santa Claus. And the legends about Saint Nicholas are much more common. Let's take a look at some of them. Saint Nicholas was born at the end of the 3rd century. He became known for his piety and generosity to the poor. One story tells how Saint Nicholas provided dowries for the 3 daughters of an impoverished nobleman by throwing bags of gold through the windows and then begging secrecy when the father discovered the identity of the giver. The custom of the secret giving of gifts may be traceable to this incident. Saint Nicholas was first adopted as the patron saint by children in Holland. On December the 6th, which is his saint day, children were told that Saint Nicholas had come to the home the preceding evening, riding a white horse and dressed in his bishop's robe to inquire about the behavior during the past year. If the report was satisfactory, he returned the next day to distribute presents to the delighted children. The tradition of Saint Nicholas crossed the ocean and went to America with the Dutch, who settled in New Amsterdam. Now it is New York, where he was first called Sinterklaas. When the colony came under English rule, his name was anglicized to Santa Claus. Nowadays, Santa Claus travels in sleigh pulled by famous 8 reindeer and lives at the North Pole. But what about his image? Who knows who invented the common look of Santa Claus? In the past, he was depicted as a bishop, usually wearing a yellow church robe and holding a crosier in his hand. But now, well, the famous red robe of Santa Claus easily associates with the color of, Coca-Cola. We owe the current image of Santa Claus to Coca-Cola, which in one of the Christmas posters depicted him as an old man with long white beard wearing a red robe. Now, we probably can't imagine Christmas without the famous Coca-Cola jingle, trucks, and the Santa Claus with a white beard and a red robe. What a perfect marketing, isn't it? Now we are left with one more absolutely necessary symbol for Christmas. Christmas carols and Christmas songs. Well, the Polish ones being probably the most beautiful of all. Christmas carols are very old songs which are sung in December and tell about the birth of the Christ. Not all have a religious motif. Some were just like stories about kindness and were created long before many ordinary people could read or write. So it is not surprising that the songs are like stories. The music is very beautiful and easy to remember, and singing songs in front of houses at Christmas is very old tradition. And before or after Christmas, there are a lot of special concerts in churches, concert halls, and now especially you may enjoy them on the radio. during this beautiful period of time, right before Christmas, I would like to wish you all the best and all the Merry Christmas for you and your families. A big hug to all of you and to be heard next time. Bye bye, Monika Podbielska.